They don't know where to look, they don't know who to trust.
Was ambitious. Property is one of the only things you can earn money on your debt. Have equity but not cash.
I'm hugely excited by it. I'm more new build, more homes needing to be built. We've built a few things. So I'm very excited to talk to you today about an equity deal our superstar broker Kelsey has helped put together, one of our key team of brokers that we work with in the industry. And this particular deal, Kelsey's helped us lend to a developer with our own assets, so kind of cross-collateralising. Now, we'll get onto that in a minute, but if you're out there as a developer and you're looking for finance partners to help finance your site, who are also experienced, we've obviously been developing and investing in property, I think 24 years I've been doing this now, so it's, I know I only look 21, but of course, I've been, believe it or not, 24 years doing this, and at a mere 46 actually, we've built a few things. We're getting more into new build now, new partners we're working with. That's a really exciting slight change of strategy, which I think is where the UK property market is going. It's more new build, more homes needing to be built, and there's more squeezing on landlords, all that sort of stuff. So I think house building, plain and simple, houses out the ground is, the way to go. But firstly, just tell us a little bit about yourself, Kelsey. Tell us a little bit about your background, and then we'll move on and talk about how people out there that are developers can get potentially 100% funding for their sites.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background, actually, the last 5 years I worked as a stock trader at Goldman Sachs. Left about a year and a half ago now to set up my property finance firm, and during my time there in the investment banking, I was squirreling my money away as a property investor myself, wanted the relationships with lenders, and so naturally finance property marries quite nicely with property finance.
Yeah, we actually met on a Property Elevator, which is a small TV show we're in our little industry, that is now actually out on Amazon Prime, I might add, which I'm very excited about. And we met on a conference there. We did a yearly conference, and we met there, and you were there sort of in the audience sucking up advice and making contacts, and we met, and then we stayed in touch and started talking, and your business sort of evolved, and I saw you start it, and you weren't quite sure what you were going to do to start with, and then you obviously slipped into your perfect stream of business. So it's great to see you do that, and you're doing an amazing job of it.
Thank you.
We're glad to be working with you on some very exciting sites. Tell me a little bit about this product that we're creating together, this sort of 100% loan to cost financing product. I'm hugely excited by it. I'm hugely excited to launch it to the market and get some other investors in to work with us to help co-invest and invest in up and coming developers, basically. So
absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned our meeting at the conference. I remember coming to you and be like, how can I add value to what you do? Not knowing, that I was going to run my own business. I was still an employee at the time, and just was ambitious, like I'm sure many people are. So, and it's evolved naturally over time into this. And I think we've kind of brainstormed a couple of different ideas. One of the things that was apparent is that there's a lot of property investors in the UK who have equity but not cash, particularly where the cost of funds are so high at the moment.
Yeah.
So, we set to the task of how can we utilise that equity? How can we sweat your existing assets to get into more opportunity sets? In this market, one of the pros of it, the cost of funds being so high, is that there are so many opportunities for people who are cash or now equity rich. Yeah,
absolutely. So, because the market's a bit flat, there are actually more people that are equity rich than cash rich.
Absolutely.
Because you've got loads of properties. There's lots of landlords out there that are probably not making quite as much in their portfolios as they'd like, but they might be quite low geared if they've owned them for a while. So actually to be able to invest that money without physically taking the cash out, it's an amazing product, isn't it, potentially?
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that we have had over the last few years is inflation. So let's use that
Really?
inflation.
Have we?
Yeah, I know.
Have interest rates gone up?
I know.
I hadn't noticed.
I know. Neither. Yeah. Might have to walk home, I do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to get the bus home after this interview, by the way.
Yeah. So we have inflation, and I think property is one of the only things you can earn money on your debt. You put 25% down standardly, 75% lent from the bank, and you're earning 10% at one point, 11% at its highest, 11% on the bank's money. So why not use that to deploy into opportunity sets?
Absolutely.
Like where we are today.
And then when you partner that with experienced developers like ourselves, we can come in and not only lend that money with you, or at least be a part of creating that equity for you and building a team of investors to help find the capital. It's then also helping you build it, or keeping being there as a experienced arm if you get stuck, just to chat through problems. Problem comes up, let's just put our heads together. 2 or 3 heads is better than one. So you've got an experienced partner of 24 years plus that can partner with you, and they can give you the money. Like, I've not seen that in this industry, but I've seen the need for it day in, day out. I have people that I consult with and mentees that are looking for sites and have sites, but they can't find the money. You know, and then you have the opposite. You have investors looking to invest in solid developers, but they don't know where to look, they don't know who to trust, they don't have the experience to vet the developers. And even main lenders don't have a lot of the expertise in-house. I'm broad brush there. Not every lender doesn't understand development to the degree I think they should, but they rely on surveyors and valuation reports and all of the kind of mechanisms we have in property to understand a deal and whether it works or not. So actually imagine being a lender, which is what we're suggesting we'll be acting on behalf of lenders and helping them invest, and having the experience to analyse a deal and bring the risk down.
Absolutely.
To me, that's a product that I hope people would like. If we can help the industry and spur on development, which is much needed at the moment in the UK.
Absolutely. I think it's essential to mention we're talking about 100% loan to cost solution here via deploying first charge on subject sites and typically second legal charges or equitable charges on a supplementary property from an investor. Now those solutions are not available to everyone, as we know, and there are many nuances, finance being one of them, valuations being another. For all the reasons you just mentioned, lenders are lenders, they aren't developers, and so you have to really have a power team, to use your phrase, that kind of smooths and buffs around the edges of all these important details to get deals over the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, just for benefit of everyone at home watching on their tellies in their pyjamas in YouTube, we're on a cold, wet, damp, horrible site in the middle of the country, and we are actually looking at this today with a new partner, and very excited. There's going to be a number of houses built on here, and they're just putting in the services and substations and temporary water features are going in, and it's just great to be stood here looking at another potential site to invest in alongside an experienced developer. So yeah, great. Have you got anything you'd like to add, Kelsey? I'm kind of ready to go off and start digging some holes and doing some proper work and put my wellies on, and then I'm going to go for a pint.
Can I join?
You may. That'd be lovely. Let's go. Let's go off to the pub.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Good.
Lovely to see you.
Yeah, lovely to see you.
Looking forward to working with you.
You too.
Right, thanks for your time, Kelsey. That's really insightful, really good to kind of demonstrate this 100% loan to cost product that we've been working on for many months, bring to the market for developers out there and investors. So if you're an investor wanting to invest funds into an up and coming developer alongside experienced developers, please get in touch. And indeed, if you're a developer looking for extra funds and would like to grow your business, also, please get in touch using the links around this video. And if you've liked this video and would like to find out more about property developing, following the journey on our own developments, our brokers' insights into the market, and indeed following the journeys of our JV partners and other developments we're working on along with our clients, please do hit subscribe and the bell icon and make sure you get the next video that we release. See you on another video very soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye. Thanks for your time, Lucy. I really appreciate that. And